All right, let's talk about one of the sneakiest problems on the ACT math test. You know the one, it looks super simple, but it's actually packed with traps. We're talking about mixed operations. If you can master this, you're going to see a real difference in your score. So let's figure out how to beat these test makers at their own game.
Okay, so take a look at this. This is our problem for today. And you can just see the chaos they've laid out for you, right? You've got a negative number, some division, a decimal, and a fraction all mashed together. Every single part of this is a potential mistake just waiting to happen. Our job isn't just to get the answer, it's to navigate this minefield without messing up.
And get this, you've got about 30 seconds to solve it. Seriously, 30, maybe 45 seconds max. So why the crazy time pressure? Well, every single second you save on a problem like this is a second you can bank for those really tough, brain-bending questions later on. The clock is your enemy here, so we absolutely need a solid strategy.
But before we actually solve it the right way, we need to talk about the number one trap. I mean, the test is literally built to push you into making this one specific mistake. If you can see the trap coming, you're already halfway to beating it.
And here it is, the big one. Just solving it from left to right. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? That's how we read. It feels natural. But trust me, it's a guaranteed path to the wrong answer. The people who write this test are counting on you to forget one really, really important rule.
So if you do fall into that trap, you do -12 plus 18, get 6, divide that by 3 to get 2, and just keep on going. It feels logical, but it leads you straight to one of the wrong answer choices they've put there for you. The right way, the pro strategy, is all about one little word, PEMDAS, and that is the absolute key.
Look, to nail these problems every single time, you gotta have a game plan. And that plan is PEMDAS. This isn't just some helpful hint, it's the unbreakable law of math that tells you exactly what to do first. You probably learned the mnemonic in school, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Seems easy enough, but there's a little detail in there that trips up so many students.
And here is that critical detail. PEMDAS isn't really 6 steps, it's more like 4. You see, multiplication and division are on the same team. They have the same priority, so you just solve them from left to right as you find them. Same exact thing for addition and subtraction. And the golden rule is, you have to finish all the multiplication and division before you even think about touching the addition and subtraction.
Okay, now that we're clear on the rules, let's go back and crush this problem the right way. We're going to take this thing apart, piece by piece, in the correct order.
Now, before we even jump into PEMDAS, here's a huge pro tip. See that fraction? Just convert it to a decimal. You don't want to waste time on the calculator punching in 3 divided by 4. Knowing right away that 3/4 is 0.75, that's a massive time saver.
Okay, now we start PEMDAS. We're scanning the problem from left to right, looking for any multiplication or division. And bam, the first one we see is 18 divided by 3. That's 6. Let's plug that in and rewrite our equation. Let's keep scanning. What's the next multiplication or division? Ah, there it is, 2.5 times 4. That's a pretty easy one, right? It's 10. Perfect. See how much cleaner the problem looks already?
So we've handled all the multiplication and division. The only things left are addition and subtraction. Now and only now can we finally work from left to right. So -12 plus 6 is -6, then -6 minus 10 is -16, and finally -16 plus 0.75, that gets us our final answer.
And there you have it, -15.25. See? By sticking to the PEMDAS strategy, we completely avoided that trap and got to the right answer. No sweat. This is exactly how you get these questions right every single time.
So the big question is, how do you make this feel like second nature when you're actually taking the test? Let's lock in everything we just learned by going over the biggest mistakes and the key things you've got to remember.
Think of these as the 4 biggest point stealers on these problems. We've already talked a ton about not going left to right, but you also have to be super careful with negative signs, double check where your decimal point goes, and if you do use a calculator, just slow down for a second and make sure you typed it in right.
Honestly, this right here is your secret weapon for speed. You just have to know these conversions by heart. Not knowing them is kind of like trying to write an essay, but not being sure about some of the letters of the alphabet. Seriously, memorize this list. It's not a suggestion, it's a must-do strategy. And this is why it's all such a big deal. The ACT isn't just testing what you know, it's testing how fast you can use what you know. When you really master the basics, like PEMDAS, you can fly through these problems with confidence. That saves you precious time and mental energy for the really tough stuff at the end of the test.
So there you go. You now know how to spot and beat the mixed operations trap. The real question is, what other tricks do you think the test makers have waiting for you? Keep practicing, stay sharp, and you'll be ready for anything they can throw at you.